I have done an undergraduate degree initially in business, so I'm majoring in human resource management. And after that, I did a master's degree in international studies, majoring in conflict resolution area. And then from there on, I actually wanted to do a PhD, and my PhD was in the area of sociology or studies of human society. I wanted to do sociology because I was very interested to actually research about Muslim issues, and issues about Islam and Muslims were very topical. They still remain to be very topical, and that's how I got to this stage. Well, my PhD is about Australian Muslim conceptions of integration. Or in other words, is how do Muslims in Australia conceptualize the concept of integration? I've worked for immigration for 11 years and being a public servant. I knew the migration policies, but I've also seen the debate, which was a very polarized debate, where a lot of misconceptions were there about Islam and Muslims. And Muslims were actually demanded of integrating into Australia in the debate, but nobody actually could explain what integration meant. And that's why I wanted to do a research and ask Muslims to actually define integration and see how Muslims are actually conceiving the concept itself. I do promote my research on a number of platforms, and the biggest one for me is the ResearchGate. I have a website there in ResearchGate. I have 5 published work listed in that ResearchGate, and my publications are also interdisciplinary. So they're not necessarily all for my thesis or my area of research and expertise. They are actually from other areas such as the recreational drug use area. And I particularly studied a particular recreational drug that is used in East Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. It's called khat. So I have published a few works in that drug. I occasionally share when I see the debate. For example, the last one I did was, there was a debate about someone who was arrested for a car truck in Australia. And when I saw that, I actually shared my article about khat on Facebook. So sometimes, and not all the time, I actually promote my work in social media. I have a number of tools that I've used in my research work, and they included EndNote. I have also used NVivo a lot because my study was a qualitative study, and NVivo is a very, very good tool to organize your information and your data so that you can make it meaningful to yourself and also to the public. So yes, I use it SurveyMonkey, not in this project, but in other projects as well. Be aware of the digital tools, that's very important. And also, if you are an HDR student, please back up your work. I think the most important thing or advice that I can give to a HDR student or an ECR, an early career researcher, is to actually create and develop networks. These networks are actually very useful. You need to actually be able to share your study, and it has a lot of benefits, including when you actually have an opportunity to share information about your thesis and your findings with other people. You get a lot of free comments and feedback, and then you can actually go back and refine your work because you have this information from very qualified people who are also academics. So develop networks, talk to other researchers and early career researchers, talk to supervisors about read their work and publication is, and don't restrict your publication record not necessarily on your area, but if you can actually do a collaborative work with other people, with other students, with other universities, I think that's another good advice. Publishing early and co-authoring are very key. You cannot do very well in academia if you don't actually have a good publication record. But a good publication record, you have to actually have the initiative. I have actually suggested publication and publication works to my supervisors. So you don't wait until your supervisor asks you to come on board for a publication work. Initiate, say, look, we can publish something about this area, and if you do that, you could actually well be the first author of that publication if you do the work.